Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore released earlier this month and is the third film in the Fantastic Beasts franchise. But there is growing concern that the movies are slowly killing the mystique of the wizarding world and undoing all the hard work done not just by J.K. Rowling, but everyone involved in the previous movies. Today, we are discussing why Fantastic Beasts is slowly killing the Harry Potter legacy, so stay right where you are. First up, it's the confusing storylines. The first Fantastic Beasts movie was relatively well received and easy enough to follow, done in a similar format to the Harry Potter movies. But that all changed in 2018 when Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald was released. The movie was incredibly confusing, and although it was pretty spectacular, effects-wise, moviegoers came away not quite understanding what had happened, nor what the movie was trying to get across. The movie is hectic and moves from one plot point to another quickly and without explanation. The 10th addition to the Harry Potter universe left fans less than spellbound, and early reports from the third Fantastic Beasts movie suggest something similar. So far, the critics' response has hovered around the 50% approval mark, and whilst it has been suggested that The Secrets of Dumbledore avoids some of the things the second movie became bogged down in, some reviewers have chastised the movie for being bland and that it fails to capture the magic of the Harry Potter films. The storyline has also been criticized again for being ludicrous. Following Grindelwald's attempts to become Supreme Mugwump, the film lacks any sort of mystery, and some have even suggested it acts as a fun sponge, sucking any sort of happiness out of the franchise, maybe for good. Many fans have also noted that this time around, the story lacks little to no urgency, claiming that the first interesting event of note takes place an hour into the film. Oh dear, what have you guys made of this latest movie? Next up are the characters. Stay tuned. Of course, the Harry Potter films had its core of essential main characters, which was limited to around 8 to 10, but the Fantastic Beasts movies have been criticized for having way too many characters, too many to keep track of. As we mentioned, the original movies were filled with beloved characters with interesting arcs, but this is where Fantastic Beasts falls down. There are so many characters to introduce and squeeze onto the screen that we find ourselves completely forgetting who they are and what their role is within the films. The filmmakers are clearly struggling with the same thing, as they have absolutely no idea what to do with all of these characters. The one redeeming relationship is that of Dumbledore and Grindelwald. This is compelling in parts, but the character of Newt is so one-dimensional, it's difficult to see how he has been expected to carry 3 movies. His knowledge of the creatures he carries around is probably his one redeeming quality, but he brings absolutely nothing else to the franchise. And this is hardly Eddie Redmayne's fault. The writers have failed to explore his relationship with his brother, and with most other characters for that matter. Jacob Kowalski is probably the one character who is actually entertaining. We get to see how he misses his girlfriend, Queenie, but even when they were presented with exploring this emotional relationship, they failed miserably. Other characters such as Credence, Tina, and Yusuf Kama are completely forgettable. We're talking about the film's controversy next. Stay with us. As you are probably aware, as long as you haven't been living on the moon for the past couple of years, the Fantastic Beasts franchise has been embroiled in its fair share of controversy, none more so than its former star Johnny Depp. Depp is currently in the middle of a legal battle with ex-wife Amber Heard, who has accused her ex-husband of physical and emotional abuse. Depp, who strenuously denies the claims, was pretty much forced to quit his role as Grindelwald following the allegations, thanks to his ongoing involvement in an expensive, lengthy court case. The actor appeared in court yesterday and said, "Never did I myself reach the point of striking Ms. Heard in any way, nor have I ever struck any woman in my life." Depp is currently suing Heard for defamation, and it seems as though this one will be dragged through the courts for months yet. As well as Depp, the franchise's creator, J.K. Rowling, has also been involved in controversy of her own. She was caught up in a debate about trans people and suggested that there used to be a word for people who menstruate, tweeting, "People who menstruate. I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Someone want to help me out? Wumbin? Wimpound? Woomud?" Whilst this is nowhere near as bad as being accused of physical violence, the world we live in right now doesn't allow for any sort of discussion around trans rights. What have you made of the franchise's controversies? Another controversial actor who appears in the franchise now. Stay with us. A couple of years back, actor Ezra Miller, who plays Credence Barebone, Aurelius Dumbledore, was involved in a controversy of his own. He was filmed grabbing a woman by the throat in a bar in Reykjavik, Iceland, which did absolutely nothing to smooth over the furor which had just erupted surrounding Rowling. And the actor, who also stars as Barry Allen, the Flash, in Justice League, was last week up to his old tricks again. He was arrested at a bar in Hawaii for disorderly conduct after becoming involved in an argument with a man after grabbing a microphone out of a woman's hands at a karaoke bar. He allegedly then lunged at a man playing darts and was subsequently arrested. And just this week, Miller was again arrested arrested on suspicion of assault after becoming irate after being asked to leave a party at a private home. The actor, who seems like the sort of guy who would utter the immortal "Do you know who I am" words, apparently threw a chair at a woman, hitting her in the head. The woman then received medical attention for a half-inch gash to her forehead. Let's hope he is sentenced accordingly. Miller is either just a very silly, immature boy, or he cannot hold his alcohol. Either way, he is doing nothing to repair the tarnished reputation of the Fantastic Beasts franchise. What do you guys make of Miller's recent behavior? Give us your thoughts below. Next up, we're discussing claims of exploitation. Don't worry, none of the cast or crew were harmed in making these movies. We mean exploitation in the sense that the studio is cashing in off the back of the uber-successful Potter franchise. Rowling first released the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them book in 2001 as a way of raising money for charity, and upon reading the novel, it wasn't evidently clear that there would be enough material for a sequel. So what happens next? Well, of course, Warner announces that the franchise will be given 5 movies. Rowling received her first solo screenwriting credit for the original Fantastic Beasts, but it has been suggested it should have just been left at just the one movie. The story was threadbare at best, and suggesting there could be 5 movies points to the fact that Rowling is either caught up in her own hype or the studio is doing what studios do, milking a franchise dry. And the idea that Redmayne's character of Newt Scamander had enough about him to carry a film franchise through 5 movies is delusional at best. Do you think the studio is just trying to cash in on the popular Harry Potter movies? It seems that way, right? Let us know your thoughts below. And finally, are fans becoming wise to all this? Let's see. Of course, the court of public opinion can be completely ruthless and has tanked planned sequels in the past. Just look at the Divergent franchise and complete lack of interest in a reboot of Terminator. People know when they are being sold a dud, and as the Fantastic Beasts franchise rolls further and further along in its story, it's becoming more and more evident that we are being flogged a dead franchise. Audiences have no shortage of viewing options these days, and after the horrible reviews the second movie in the franchise received, the last thing the studio needed was another flop, which is fast looking as though this one will turn out to be. Fans can also vent their grievances to more and more people these days thanks to the invention of social media, which again is not good for the studio. One bad review from a reputable source these days can be enough to sink a movie and by proxy a whole franchise. After watching the last 2 offerings from the Fantastic Beasts franchise, we're starting to think some fans might be about to boycott the dying franchise for good, and maybe it's for the best. What do you guys think? Are there any other issues which have plagued the Fantastic Beasts films? Let us know below. As always, thanks for stopping by today, and remember to join us next time for some more fun reveals. Also, why not do us a favor by liking and sharing today's video, as well as subscribing to our channel to make sure you don't miss our future content. Bye guys!